Oh, let's pull this out. Let's open. There we go. Hello, good morning. I'm Spike, and welcome to another self-taught Japanese in Rosetta Stone 3. Good news! I've managed to fix the technical issue I was having with the database file for Rosetta Stone. As you can see, managed to get it up and loaded, and with all of my previous work, which is very good news. It means I don't need to call technical support again. Um, So yes, very stoked. It's a little bit different because obviously I don't usually stream it or put out anything on the weekends. But I've been so intent on getting this unit finished by the end of this week so that we can start the next unit on Monday, on this coming week, this back end of June. I really needed to get it fixed and get this out there. So this is one of the rare occasions that a stream is going up on a weekend. It's Saturday. And here we are, looking at the review module. I'm quite excited. It's triggered my bipolar a little bit to go a tiny little bit manic because I'm just happy and excited I've managed to fix the program that I'm teaching myself Japanese with. And obviously, it's what I'm making content on to share with you guys. Um, informative, documentative content rather than entertainment purposes, although it could be used for entertainment, I suppose. You can just laugh at me as I try and learn a language by myself. Um, but yes, here we are. So I've managed to fix the program. Hopefully it doesn't have any weird effects and stuff while we're running through it today. Hopefully the database does hold up. Um, and I have a slightly new method to fix this program and for it to hopefully stay fixed. Or if not, if I encounter this issue again, hopefully my fix will work first time every time rather than spending yesterday 2-3 hours trying to fix it, not being able to stream, and then obviously getting it working for today. I've spent less than half an hour this morning trying to fix it, and I've managed to come across a method that works. Um, So, without further ado, let's if anyone who's out there who comes across this video, whether it's on Twitch or on YouTube, if you can like, follow, share, and subscribe, click that bell. Whether you turn notifications on or off, that's entirely up to you. But all of this is free. So please like, follow, share, and subscribe both channels. It goes up live on twitch.tv/chronicsevenup, where it will stay for 7 days, as per all the other videos. And if you want to have a more permanent viewership of this content, and go check out the playlist of all now 59 videos after today, go to youtube.com/xofficina, and you'll find the permanent home of the videos over on there in a nicely ordered playlist. So you can go from 1 to 59 at the moment. Although by the time I've done the review, and then by the time I've done the milestone video, we'll be at number 60, which I feel is quite an achievement for someone starting out as a content creator. Um, through last year, the end of last year, but primarily from the beginning of this year, from 2025. So all very much respect and love any support that people would like to throw my way. And as again, like, follow, share, and subscribe. Share this out to anyone you know who likes anime, anyone who might want to be interested in learning Japanese or just another language and doesn't know which one to pick. Anyone who has incredibly low budget or can't afford any of these programs or apps to learn and doesn't want to rely on Google Translate or any translation programs, obviously obscure some of the grammar correctness in how languages are constructed. They can be sometimes unreliable or incorrect, just flat out incorrect. Then I urge you to send them this way, share the videos out, share my channels out, please, please, please. It means so much to me just to build a tiny little bit of a community um, of support. Um, Again, I'm just trying to reach affiliate status on Twitch. I'm halfway there. I'm at 25 followers out of 50 that are required. And over here on YouTube, we've also got, I think it's 13 or 15 subscribers, whatever it is. I'd kind of like to get them both level pegging so that I've got a continuous audience. So again, please, please, please like, follow, share, and subscribe. Click the bell. Favorite the page, stick it in your bookmarks, whatever you're inclined to do. It would be great if you can add me up there. And as always, all comments are welcome. Just hit up the video below in this particular section and comment at me. Any advice, constructive criticism, tips, tricks, you name it, all welcome. And if you don't want to do it through a comment on the video, again, both the Twitch page and the YouTube page have my Discord, so you can come join my Discord server and just DM me at me in there. It's for anything and everything. So if you want a game, if you want to do some language stuff with me, if you happen to be in the UK and want to chill out and hang or whatever, hit me up a message on there. That'd be fantastic. Right, with all of that lovely good stuff out of the way, let's crack on with what will be a 5-minute review module section for Unit 2, Greetings and Introductions. Lesson 4, we're right at the end of this module, as you can see, having chunked through all of Unit 2 as we have from, when did we start? It started March 25th, god damn. But then we had problems towards the end of March. We went through April, had a half a week, I think, in April where things didn't work. Then we got to May, we had a section where we had another week where things didn't work. Then we got to the end of May, and then we started in June again. We've had another little section where things didn't work. It always seems to be the middle of the month, doesn't it? Or between the second and the third week of the month. So here we are at the review module. As usual, I've got my number and tense sheet, and obviously the old hiragana alphabet kanji translation for this review section, which hopefully will be going over each bit of a repetition of some of these module materials as experienced in the previous unit. Which ones it will do, I don't know. I assume it's going to pick the most common ones that have occurred. So without further ado, let's get in. Let's get the old number sheet. Remember to count in Japanese. Ichi, ni, san, yon, go. Beautiful. Still shameful I have to look at my sheet.
どう
What?
どう
Do. It's not that what?
どう
Okay, this is going to be well difficult because I've never seen these slides before. Why are you giving me these slides? Got.
なーにエイミ
Oh, what? We've got to
ー
go
ねえ
backwards.
お母さん
Ne Okasa. Why are we
お
going
母
backwards?
さんは元気よ
Uh-huh.
元気じゃないよ
This, again, this is something that gets me about this program. We're in the review period, right? It's taught us a load of stuff up to this point. And then in the review, it gives us 6 slides we've never seen before. And phrases that, like, we have not come across any of these. What the hell is this? I mean, we know Okasan, and we know Amy's a name. But shorthand, I'm guessing this is part of, it's part of a conversation. Clearly she's ill, right? She's not feeling well. She's asking for her mum. It's like, yes, Amy. Are you okay? Do? I don't know. And then I feel better. I've never heard or come across the word Janayo.
元気じゃないよ
Never heard of that. And also, we're now using Genkyo.
元気よ
We haven't come across this word either. So the program in review is chucking the first slide at us, has nothing to do with what we've been taught prior. This is where I think the program falls down slightly, because now I need to do a little research to find out just what it is these shorthands mean in Japanese. Do, how or in what way? Okay, so then let's see what Jio means. Janayo, sorry. Janayo. Okay, this sucks that I have to do this live. Janayo in Japanese is phrase that combines a negative form, janai, with the sentence final particle yo. It essentially means is not or isn't, but with a nuance of emphasis or casualness. Often used to express a general disagreement, correction, or to add a little punch to a statement. So, I'm not well. And then she's asking about if her mum is, and she's saying, yep, I'm fine. That's rough. Like, okay, so let's see, let's get this translated. Ni oka-san. So is that what, mum come here? Yeah, we know what that is. What does ni mean? What plus objective? No, that's not quite correct, really. So, again, I'm not happy with this front end. We'll have to rinse and repeat anyway and come back to it.
セータ
Seta. We know what
ー、
these are.
靴下、
Kutsushita. There's sock. There it is.
ネクタイ、
I know what that one is, obviously. Necktie.
ベルト、
The belt. Yeah.
ジーンズ、
Jeans. We know jeans.
スーツ、
And we know suit. That's fine. Cool. So do we just get the first slides that you inevitably are going to get wrong, and slide 2 onwards is stuff that we're gonna know? I think that's disgusting for a program to challenge you with phrases you've not, or with a way of phrasing that you need to learn an answer where you've never encountered it in the program before. You might be able to take an educated, guess, but with where things are at the moment. Oh god, my camera keeps going in the wrong places. Why? No. Why are you going the wrong way? Come on, stop being a dick. No, I asked you to go that way. That way. There we go. That's better. But yeah, what a ball ache. Absolute ball ache. It's giving me stuff that we've not been said at all.
おばあちゃん、こんにちは。
Yeah.
エイミ
This is as
ー、
close as
こ
we
んに
get.
ちは。元気ですか？
Yeah.
元気です。 おばあちゃんは？
Genki desu.
元気です。
She's okay. Okay, right. So, but this, do you see what I'm saying? Like, this is the closest slides that we had in the last module section or the one before. It's only the last 2 that this has ever appeared. And we did okay in this. Now, it's functionally similar to that first slide, but the language used in the first slide, how are you meant to know? And because of not having heard it, how am I meant to know which slide is which one because I've not learnt which slide it would go to? I know it's kind of trying to get you to test your language skills in conversation, I guess. But if you've not even come across half the words that are being said in conversation, because they're new, how are you meant to know which part of the conversation you're in, and therefore selecting in something like this? I find that first slide was very disingenuous. Let's crack on.
喉が渇いています。
What was that? No.
喉が渇いています。
She's thirsty, drinking.
寒いです。
She's cold.
暑いです。
He's hot.
お腹が空いています。
And he's hungry. Yeah, cool. Again, not so difficult. We come across each of these individually across different slides because of obviously hot and cold were together and the drink being hungry and thirsty were together. Let's go to the next slide.
私は背が低いです。私の髪は赤毛です。
Whoa.
私は背が低いです。
Yeah.
私の髪は赤毛です。
It's because you've got red hair, yeah?
私の髪は茶色です。
My hair's brown, yes.
私は背が高いです。
And I'm tall. Yeah, so I'm quite tall. I have brown hair. I'm quite small. I have ginger hair. Or I have red hair, sorry.
男の子は疲れています。女の子は病気です。 男の人は病気です。
女の人は疲れています。I said that so
女
poorly.
の人は疲れています。
疲れています. That's what I needed to say. Oh, I'm not doing so well today. Ah, pain. Well, at least we know you're going to get most of these right, except that first slide. Which is annoying, so I'm going to have to redo it to get that first slide. Midori, that's green.
青、
Owl is blue.
ピンク、
Pink is pink.
オレンジ、
Orange is orange.
黄色、
Kiro is yellow.
灰色、
Airo is grey.
茶色、
Chairo is brown.
紫、
Murasaki is purple. Goodo. Oh, excuse me, we've come across these colours hopefully enough now to have them set in our mind quite clearly. I mean, I think we started with these. Oh, Shiraga is white, or Shiraga is white. Kurui is black, and so on and so forth. We've got some extra colours that aren't featured here.
彼女の髪は
Kurui desu. Yep,
彼女の髪は黒いです。
yep.
彼女の髪はです。
Hakuhatsu desu, because it used to
彼
have
女の
Shiraga there,
髪
and they
は
were saying
白髪
Hakuhatsu.
です。彼の髪は
Akagi desu, because it's red.
彼の
Fantastic.
髪は赤毛です。彼女の髪はです。
Chairo desu.
彼女の髪は茶色です。
Yep.
彼の髪は
Kinpatsu desu, because it's blonde
彼
apparently.
の髪は
That looks
金
grey.
髪です。彼の髪は
Hakuhatsu desu. So we got the options here on these slides, but in previous modules leading up to this point, it was typed Shiraga, or Shiraga, and they were saying
彼の
Hakuhatsu.
髪は白髪です。
So again, there were mistakes in this program. Look, we got 3 incorrect because we can't literally do that first slide because it's no. We're gonna redo that. Yeah, reset that score.
なーに、エイミー。
We know it's that one.
元気よ。
Here's the end.
元気じゃないよ。
Doing that one.
お母さんは
Somewhere.
ねえ、お母さん。
No, San sis.
どう
There we go. And I only managed to get that because I remembered what it was the first time round, okay? So, ni okasan, nani Amy, do, genki janayo, okasan wa genki yo. Whole conversation. Mom, yes, Amy, how are you? I don't feel well. What about you, Mum? I'm fine. It's basically what's going on here in this slide with what's being said. However, as you can see, we haven't been taught that ni and nani in context hasn't necessarily been explained. The only time we come across do as a word is part of dozo yoroshiku, which is nice to meet you, rather than and you. Genki we know, janayo, totally new word. Okasan wa, yeah, we're asking about and you, Mum. And then Genki yo is a modified Genki that, again, we haven't necessarily come across. That you could assume that, oh, right, okay, so we've not come across this word. How would we place this in the slide when it could be in, it could be any one of these, when you haven't come across functionality of the conversation like this, unless you're expected to just put it together, which I'm not quite there yet. That's the problem, because I am encountering issues in this program where this occurs and it doesn't make sense to me. And it's not because I'm not learning the stuff, it's just because if you've not functionally been taught the structure of how a sentence like this with new words is formed, how are you meant to learn where the new words go, if that makes sense? It might be a combination of the listening section, that it's expecting you to hear what's being said so that you can then place it. But again, if half of the words of what's being said in each phrase for each slide is putting you off, it just becomes confusing. So I don't think much of this slide, personally, in the review. It's just something to watch out
ス
for.
ーツ、
We're We'll go back to doing these.
ジーンズ、セータ
Just make sure that I'm
ー、
following
ネ
the
ク
right
タ
things.
イ、ベルト、
There we go.
靴下、
Yeah. There we go. So we've got socks, belt, jeans, obviously, suit, obviously, jumper or sweater, again, obvious, necktie, that's pretty damn obvious. Let's go to the next slide.
おばあちゃん、こんにちは。エイミー、こんにちは。元気ですか？元気です。おばあちゃんは？
Genki desu,
元気です。
because she's fine. See, if the first slide had been presented in this way at least once in many of the previous modules, that first slide in the review wouldn't be a problem. We'd know how that sentence structure functionally works. We'd have already learnt what the new words mean, and they'd be in the bank. So we'd have at least some learnt understanding of what the hell it means, rather than being chucked in at the deep end with a phrase that you're not going to get. Next slide.
暑いです。
Natsui desu. He's hot.
喉が渇いています。
He's thirsty.
お腹が空いています。
He's hungry.
寒いです。
And she's cold. There we go. Samui desu. Nodo ga kawaite imasu. Atsui desu. Onaka ga suite imasu. Sweet.
私は背が低いです。
Yeah, she's small.
私は背が高いです。
He's tall.
私の髪は茶色です。
Her hair is brown.
私の髪は赤毛です。
And my hair is red. Awesome. So I'm quite tall, or I am tall. My hair is brown. I'm small. My hair is red. Let's crack
男
on.
の子は疲れています。
Scouted.
女の子は病気です。
Yep.
男の人は病気です。
女の子は疲れています。
女の人は
Oh, I said
疲れ
"女の子."
ています。
Oh my god, I'm making a mistake on the same damn slide. In the same place, but with a different part of the sentence. What a tool. 女の人は疲れています。
女の人は疲れています。
疲れています。Don't know why that's so hard for me to produce today. Must have a dry lip or a dry tongue or something. It's definitely not moving how it would in
紫、
my mouth, like normal. Something like sit.
ピンク、
Here we go with the colours again.
灰色、
灰色、
黄色、
黄色、
オレンジ、
オレンジ、
青、
青、
茶色、
茶色、brown,
緑、
緑、for green. Oh yeah! Getting them colours in. And then obviously shiraga for white, kuroi for black. Let's go. Let's go to that last slide. Let's get it done.
彼女の髪は
Kuroi
です。彼女の髪は
Her hair is
黒い
black.
です。彼女の髪は
Hakuhatsu desu, because it's white /
彼
grey
女の
white.
髪は白髪です。彼の髪は
Akage
で
desu.
す。彼の髪は赤毛です。彼女の髪は
Oh,
This.
it's chairo, because it's brown.
彼女の髪は茶色です。
Awesome.
彼の髪はで
Oh
す。
yes, Kinpatsu for blondes, even though he doesn't look like
彼
blonde.
の髪は金髪です。
Mhm.
彼の髪は
Hakuhatsu desu.
彼の髪は白髪です。
Awesome. That should give me, yep, there we go. 35 correct, 100%. Fantastic. That's what we want for the review. Return to the home screen. And that is the review video for today. So, again, apologies for the technical difficulties yesterday. I did put up a video explaining and showing the issue that occurs. That will stay on Twitch. I don't think I'll upload it to YouTube. Purely because it's just unnecessary. So sorry for anyone who's on YouTube who watches this and gets to the end of these videos and you feel like you're missing out. it was just an update as to why a stream wasn't coming out live on the day. Um, just explaining what the issues were, and that's it. I don't see the need to put it out onto YouTube because once it's fixed, I'm going to do a video and it's just going to upload straight to my channel after the fix. Anyway, so that was the review, which of this unit, not so bad. I fully expect the milestones, probably going to be a bit more of a review when I do that. I will probably do that later on today. What with it being the weekend and all, because I do want to get out and enjoy the weather, to be honest, go see who's about. Maybe chill with some friends if anyone's around today and all the rest of it. We'll have to see and send off some messages, see what people are up to. But there we go, there we have it. So we are basically at the end of Unit 2, Greetings and Introductions, in a full year's curriculum of teaching myself Japanese in this program and documenting my progress and showing you guys where I'm up to. I don't think I've done too bad so far. First half of the year. It's coming on nicely. Like I say, I've got some resources of my own outside of the program, but I've taken from the program so that I can, brush up and keep myself fresh outside of the program. There are a couple of resources that I do use as well outside of this program, such as that Yuta on Instagram. He's got quite good insights on Japanese structure. He talks to people as a Japanese native, but in Western English, and shows the differentiation between what natives use and what we would sometimes learn, and why we tend to learn quite formal language that doesn't always make sense to native speakers because it's just words that they don't actually use, or they're words that are from certain dialects, traditional dialects, that are starting to not be used as much because of the modernization of Japan and obviously how culture and society works when you're growing up. People start to include slang terminology and such like, and just streamline languages anyway in communication. So certain things become unimportant or they fall to the wayside in use, and either get a legacy use because they're traditional words and therefore become more polite, and more like how we would have Queen's English, for example, for our pronunciation of certain words, or the avoidance of certain words. They have to but because their language is more contextual, they tend to homogenize some of their words into just being the normal way of using them, which is why when we come along, having learnt the language, we're either doing this type of English where it's quite basic, but still quite formal, and even when it dips to plain language, plain Japanese, which is informal, it doesn't always carry the right connotation in context when we speak to them. So it sounds like a 5-year-old's talking to them as an adult. Or it can go the other way, where we're using conversation that it's the wrong tense, or it's the wrong participle that's truncating something, and therefore takes things out of context and gives it the secondary meaning to what that word might mean, for where they have 2 or 3 meanings for the same word. And then obviously that sentence to them doesn't make sense, so it causes confusion. So he's a good resource to check out and to learn where some things are acceptable to use and some things aren't, where we'd be given a words to learn and they may actually use something totally different because that's actually the more modern words to use, and so on and so forth. So he's a good resource. And then there's a couple of podcasts out there on YouTube that are specifically just in Japanese with English subs, but they are speaking Japanese for beginners in podcast form, where they're having conversations so you can learn to listen to Japanese spoken, again, at a slower rate, but in a more natural setting by native speakers. So it becomes easier to listen out for certain words and to understand sentence structure and so on and so forth, and just to naturally ingratiate into listening to Japanese for learning purposes, for listening, and to also challenge yourself. So Yeah, there's a couple of things that I use there. Then obviously I'm watching anime, and as we know, anime speaks in a lot of Japanese. If you can't get a subbed version of what you're watching, a dubbed version is usually okay. It doesn't always translate perfectly, although the houses do try. But also remember, it's scripted Japanese, and in anime, a lot of the time, anime is scripted in an unnatural way that Japanese people would speak, and it's usually also scripted to the target audience. So your target audience's age plays a role in how the scripted Japanese then comes across. Are you being spoken to like an adult, or are you being spoken to like a teenager? And as a result, what phrases are more likely to be closer to native Japanese that natives would actually use versus what's scripted rubbish, like what we see in our own, anglicized dramas and so on and so forth. Um, when it comes to things like your EastEnders and Coronation Street. We know it's a drama, people don't always speak or argue in that way, and as a result, it's English that isn't always the best, like, reading. It needs the visual medium to go along with it, and that's what anime is for Japan and learning Japanese. A lot of the scripting of it, the individual sentences might naturally make sense, but sentences you wouldn't necessarily use in Japanese in light or polite conversation or even casual conversation sometimes, because they're just phrases that have words in them that they just do not use in that context. So although it's good for learning individual words, more than likely pronunciation at speed and so on and so forth, it's not necessarily a natural way of speaking in Japanese, because another thing as well is how they read their manga comics and their anime comics and stuff. Sometimes it's a back translation or a back scripting direct from the comic, and as a result, it's quite flat and 2D in depth and presentation, so the language comes across as it in an anime as if it is just an animated comic book, which then makes sense for how directors editing and stuff for programs work and why they cut the way they do and so on and so forth. So it's all quite integral. So just some things to bear in mind when going out there and finding outside resources to supplement teaching yourself Japanese with. Some of the pitfalls that are out there are worth taking note. Right, that's all from me today. They are my notes and my commentary. As I said, we got to the review stage finally after fixing the program. Look out for the milestone stream video that will be going up. I will do that this weekend. It will probably be later on today, probably at night time. So all of this will be in a little bit of a different light, as will this mug. So look out for that. It will be going up before Monday, and Monday I will be starting Unit 3, Work and School, and we'll be getting a little bit further through this program for this full year's curriculum. So we'll see how that goes. What else can I say? I think that's it. I think that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Much love and respect for your support, for those who watch or listen in the background, etc. As always, like I said at the top of the video, and like I say at the end of each video, like, follow, share, and subscribe. I really do appreciate the support and the attempt to grow this community. I very much like to at least get to affiliate status on Twitch. As you can see, we're at 25 followers out of 50, and I'd like to do the same on YouTube, just so I can have a few more tools in my arsenal to produce better content. And to be able to save to Twitch would be quite quite ideal. So I don't have just a 7-day limit on those videos over there. And yeah, it would just be nice to be able to have a few options to diversify the content in the portfolio and allow me to bridge and build better content for you all, and not just with learning Japanese in this program, but also with like gaming content, the music content with the guitars that are lined up behind here, and yeah, just ready to make some more interesting stuff, not just me learning Japanese. So that's going to be it from me. Like I say, like, follow, share, and subscribe on my channels. They are twitch.tv/crunk7up and youtube.com/xofficina, both linked to each other. You can get the videos for 7 days on Twitch, and then you can get the videos over on YouTube in a permanent home for them, and they are playlisted, so you can just go in order all the way up from 1 to this video, which is number 59. Like, hit that bell, set the subscription up. Like, it's all free. I'm not charging for anything that I'm doing. It's just fun to do and off my own back, and just something I want to share with the world. So I hope anyone who's out there finds it informative, finds they're learning something from it, and can watch the videos and maybe take away a little bit of Japanese if you're using it to learn as well. Hopefully I'm going at a casual pace for me, but I'm hoping that the videos are at a pace which allows you to stop, rewind, go forward, rewind, go forward, and learn the sections like I have been. Or you can just follow what I do on the videos, note down what you need to, and learn from there. So I'm hoping that they are informative. I hope when I muck up and I'm cursing at myself, the program, or the things that I'm making mistakes at, and you're seeing me get frustrated and stuff, maybe that's enough entertainment for you. I don't mind. It's just part and parcel of me. I just like getting things right most of the time. That's OCD for you. Anyways, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you've enjoyed what you've stuck around for, and I hope to see you again in the future. So on that note, take care, stay safe, keep sane, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.